Good night, brothers. Brian here. I'd like you all just to give me a few minutes and listen patiently, please. Just give me a little hearing. Hear what's happening that I've observed over the years. As I just said, the unresolved issues from our family of origin that we take into our adulthood, it determines how we look at how we addressing issues of so-called power and so-called equality. This is something that I've observed very deep. Men, women with deep issues, hurt, trauma, pain, abuse at the hands of their father or their mother or the people who were their caregivers, male or female, right? It kind of sets the precedent for how you look at your perception of men or women. Me, Brian Bradshaw, grew up in a blended family. I'm the eldest of four. We all have different fathers. My mother worked on ship. My mother got exposed to racism and sexism. For years, I championed women. I fell in love with women with children, with different baby fathers, just like my mom. I went out of my way. I developed compassion for them. I tried my best to be everything that the child father wasn't. Say what? Emotional rescue mission, former Catholic altar boy, playing star boy, playing messiah, playing captain saver who? Women's biggest strength is the facade of weakness. We men just get tied up with that. Men's biggest weakness is the facade of strength, always showing a stoic face. You understand? Walking around strong, big beard, hiding, deepening the voice, hiding behind a mask. You understand? Our mythological heroes were all wearing masks. I've said it before, Superman, Batman, you name them. And women fell in love with the man with the mask, right? They never got him to open up, and they thought that was strength, only to realize in the not too distant future, all of the rage and the anger, some of the unresolved issues with his mother or his father came out. You see, I'm very concerned about a lot of people in all of these workshops, and they belong to the United Nations and all of these damn fancy conferences with their fancy names and shit. You've got some people with some serious unresolved issues. My God, gentlemen, woe be unto men who are coming up against women with unresolved issues with their father, unresolved issues with their ex-husband, unresolved issues with their former lovers. They will always see man as the perpetrator and woman as the victim. And as a man, I am very pissed with some of my brothers like to play Starboy. I've seen it. When I was in California, I'm not going to call his name, but a very prominent brother in National Organization for Men Against Sexism, when I was hoodwinked and intoxicated with pro-feminist ideology, right? He was brilliant at intellectually and philosophically seducing sisters and talking equality, and some of the most sexist, manipulative behavior in how we treated women behind the scenes was absolutely amazing. So you have certain brothers and straight men, and I'm talking about, like to be at the forefront of women's issues, always seeing themselves as the champion. Anytime a man starts to complain about women's abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, bitchy, manipulative, vaginal politics, gentlemen, in the bedroom that affects decision-making process, right? In the boardroom, you understand? A lot of these religious ministers and politicians always demonizing men and championing the women, you understand, to gain more converts, make more damn money in the name of God, and to gain votes. I have some serious problems with these people. Where are the women who truly have compassion for men? When last has a man met a woman that said, you know, you remind me of so much of my dad? I'm now realizing that he suffered a heart attack because daddy used to be working 14 and 16 and sometimes 18 hours a day, double time and triple time to support me and my brother for us to go to college, and he did not live long enough to see us graduate. I am now realizing that daddy gave up the gleam in his eye so that we could have a gleam in our eye. Gentlemen, where are the positive narratives about these things? I am totally fed up of the demonizing of men's issues, the trivializing of the issues and trauma and pain of men. I'm totally fed up. You understand? And nobody loves women more than me. All my life, I've always seen myself as a protector. The poor young girls right now, they don't know what it's like to have a man who understands chivalry, the man who genuinely cares for them, put them in a car, take down the car number and tell the driver, make sure she reach home safe for me. I taking a number, you know. Yeah, darling, when you reach home, call me and let me know what's going on. I, Brian Bradshaw, I am that man. These young girls, I'm so sorry for them. You understand? Mommy and daddy split up when they were young. Some people have a warped perception of a particular parent based on what your father say about your mother or what your mother say about your father. So you get older with all of these unbiased um, perceptions and views about the other person. It takes a lot of work to sit silently and listen to the other complain. And what I've noticed in workshops over the years, when men start to complain and think women just want to shut them up. I'm fed up. I am fed up. Some of the women in this country, right, that are being seen as the champion of issues with women and the suffering of children. All you damn well know who it is I'm talking about. Who did they marry? They married the patriarchy. They married the men of power. Yes. You understand? And I've always said women don't know about the sacrifices men make, the long hours where they're making themselves disposable. You understand? The sacrifices that they're making. Ah, boy, right now we're in a serious global economic crisis. You understand? People losing their work. A sister was asking me the other day, would I go with a woman who's unemployed? I said, but of course. So what if she's unemployed? Once she complements my core values, we come together, we work together, and we pray and we meditate to the God of our understanding, and we come together. So wait now, you only have value when you're working, eh? Ah. So now that people have lost the job, who really love who? Eh? Look at the amount of relationships and things breaking up now. Some of you all talking about violence, domestic violence, and on the upswing. What about the wonderful relationships where men and women relationships and marriages are also healing? Where's the narrative about that? Where's the narrative about the men and women who realizing, hey baby, is needs versus wants now, you know? You understand? Now that we have all this rent, rent and mortgage and what have, how much cars do we really need? You know, we have to eat less, you know. Eh? What's happening to the children now who for the first time in their life daddy is operating on half pay and he's spending more time at home and he's getting to bond with his family and his children for the first time in a way that he never had before. Men who only have daughters, you understand, will always champion women and their girl children. What happens when you have a son? What happens if you or a man was abused by another man and you have a son? How are you going to raise him? We don't have healthy narratives about these issues. Hmm? I have seen many of my gay friends, male and female, unresolved issues with their father. So they champion their mother. Hmm? Unresolved issues with the mother. Yeah? And only championing men and vice versa. Very few homosexual men have healthy relationship with their fathers. Very few lesbian women have healthy relationships with their dad. But these are things people don't want to talk about. Huh? I know what it's like as a young, handsome man, as a disco dancer. I used to have gay men coming on to me. Nobody is talking about boys who don't have fathers, are potential victims for pedophiles. We don't talk about those things. You understand? We don't talk about those things. We don't have those narratives. But we always assume it's our divine right to play Starboy and always champion the needs of women. You understand? Right? And their abuse. But nobody is talking about the boys. Nobody is talking about the men and the pain. None. And we laugh and we trivialize. As I told one of the brothers on this chat, how many of us are really reaching out to each other? You understand? How you doing, brother? You eat, how your family doing? You understand? Right? You have any food? You need any money? How can I help you? But we here arguing over ideological perspectives, and as men, we do not have healthy friendships with other men. I am a hot-blooded straight man. Gentlemen, let me tell you something. Most married men have very little friends. Everything is centered around the wife and the children. And some of them have to put up with all sorts of bullshit in the name of the institution of marriage or in the name of God, and they're suffering in silence and they're too ashamed to reach out to our next man. And then we want to talk about where the domestic violence coming from. Gentlemen, if that guy had a healthy male support system in his life, half of those issues will go. But we straight men, because of deep-seated issues of homophobia, we do not have any genuine bonding with each other. Always walk around with a tough image and everything all right. You're lying. Gentlemen, talk to any prostitute worth her salt. Most of her clients are married men, not single men. And yet we sign these social contracts called the institution of marriage, legalizing property rights. And yet we have to put up with all of this superficial bullshit with the manipulative vaginal politics in the bedroom and suffering in silence. But we are afraid to tell other single or unmarried men what it is we really going through. How many of you married men have genuine friendships with other men? How many of you have genuine friendships with other men? Gentlemen, we on this chat, yeah, making petty arguments versus who's might be men's rights or who's pro-feminist and all that superficial buffoonery. Where is the genuine brotherhood? Where is the genuine love for your brother? Our relationships with each other on this chat, it's very impersonal. And we're talking all kind of buffoonery and trying to arrive at all sorts of theories talking about domestic violence. Domestic violence, these are human problems. These are not gender problems. And until we start to understand that, we're not going anywhere. Until we develop genuine compassion for other men who've gone through all sorts of abuse and trauma at the hand of a man, at the hand of a father, at the hand of a mother, at the hands of a woman, and stop the intellectual, academic, superficial buffoonery and all this other intellectual, academic language. Come on, man, this is man talk. This is man talk. Set of intellectual crap. And we have no genuine friendships with one another. And some men always want to play starboy and champion. Come on, man. Who vulnerable? Who's really vulnerable? Where are the safe spaces? Yeah? But yet, we quick to always champion the woman, always champion the children. And some of all you married. Where your real friends? When last you see your children, godparents? Eh? When last a partner call you 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? If you have to ask yourself if you're in crisis, who could you really call? You could really call. Where are your genuine friendships? Where are your genuine friendships? And only want to talk all kind of nonsense about domestic violence? All that nonsense comes from our socialization as men. You're telling men very early in life to suppress the feelings. And when a man expresses them feelings, you want to shut him down? Come on, man. I have no trust for some men and some women who have a hidden agenda. They're very biased and they talk inequality only for you to realize, you understand, the unresolved issues they have with their father or their mother or their ex-husband or the former lovers in their life, male as well as female. Some of the lesbian relationships, some of the most grotesque, abusive relationships you could ever think about. My God, where's the love? Where's the love? I have reached out to a particular brother. I ain't calling him. I say we have our differences. Let me go for a walk, brother. Let's reach out. How things with you? Let me start that kind of relationship now. Let me start that relationship now among men now. Don't talk. Peace.